Nigeria is losing a fair share in the global outsourcing industry, contributing only $2 billion out of $500 billion the industry generates annually. India is leading in global outsourcing, followed by China, Malaysia, Thailand, and Brazil, without the presence of any African country. MD IDM Atul Shetty joins us to discuss how African countries can grow their relevance in the industry.
The outsourcing industry in India, how big is it?
Well, the outsourcing industry in India is a few billion dollars. It's difficult for me even to count the numbers because there is a very thin line between what is outsourced and what is insourced, and you don't get those figures, but it could be in a few billions of dollars.
And how many young people are taking off the streets?
If you start from the history of outsourcing industry, going back to somewhere around 2000, in fact, the first outsourcing company that really started this whole kick-started this was somewhere around 2000. It was a company called WNS, World Network Services, which was a subsidiary of British Airways, and they started doing their back office operations of ticketing in India. So it goes back to those days. Of course, after that it's grown by leaps and bounds. From those days, from 2000, today we could be doing close to about 30-40 million people who could be directly or indirectly associated with the industry. Because when you talk about one person on a bench doing some back office operation, remember that he's providing food to a lot of people: the bus transporter, a caterer, a laundryman, or somebody, a fashion designer, or anybody. So it's a whole community that grows around a business center. If you take our own center in Abekota, which employs directly about 1200 odd people, but if you look at the overall development of the community in that, it has benefited at least 4 to 5 times more people. You have people staying there, so suddenly there's a lot of people who have moved from Lagos to Abekota because they have jobs there now. If you move to Abekota, you land up with caterers, you land up with bus transporters, you land up with people who are renting out apartments, etc. So the entire community that grows around 1,000 people benefits at least 3 to 4 times that many people. Direct employment, I wouldn't be able to gather a guess as to how many people are really employed in India in this industry, but maybe about 5 to 7 million direct.
I've read a number of studies that say that one of the things that have helped the Indian outsourcing industry is the fact that when America is asleep, India is awake. And Nigeria shares similar opportunities. What do you think Nigeria needs to do to tap into outsourcing?
First of all, let me clear a myth that outsourcing is about technology, about working with computers, etc. Technically, it is not. Outsourcing is about skill development and outsourcing a skill. You could outsource a secretarial service, you could outsource a designing service.
But you need technology to make it better.
Technology is a very simple component of the whole thing. If you have a good secretary, well, you could outsource secretarial services. Way back, we did something in 2001, 2002, we did something very interesting for a British law firm. They outsourced their entire secretarial services to women at home in India. So they used to send their dictations over the net, and women sitting in their houses used to download those files and convert them into letters or briefs, etc., and upload them back. Now today Nigeria is 4.5 hours away from America, while as India is about 9 to 12 hours away. What offers a better locational advantage? Nigeria. What is prohibiting people from outsourcing secretarial services to Nigeria? You have skilled manpower here, people who understand English, who can read English, who can understand English, transcribe English. A cost of a decent secretary in the US would be at least $3,000 to $4,000 odd dollars
a month.
A month. You could possibly get that a good secretary sitting in a house in any part of Nigeria. Why even Lagos? It could be in Ibadan, it could be in Abeokuta, it could be in Ilorin, it could be in Kano, it could be in Kaduna, anywhere. For as little as $500 to $600, if you look at the current exchange rates, you could have a person offering these services. All you need is computers at both ends and the ability to transcribe documents efficiently and effectively. Why would I need a secretary in the US? The money is there.
That's good for it.
That's good forex, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's all about thinking on what you want to do back home. Another misconception that people talk about is, a BPO operation being, fancy buildings, glass structures, expensive cafeterias and workbenches. It's not. The very definition of BPO means back office processing. Now that means the place where you are going to do this work and the people who are going to do this work should be cheaper than what they would be doing back home in their own country. If you have a BPO operation, it should be in the real back offices. As I was just talking to you about a lawyer, a law firm. Now they didn't even have an office. All they were giving work was to women sitting at home with 2 children and with kids who couldn't go out to work, and they started giving them work to do. If you do that, you are empowering a young mother to work for 4 hours and 5 hours a day and earn $500.
Well, you are more or less a Nigerian. What do you think we need to do to begin to grow this industry?
Well, the first thing to do here is to develop skills and a mindset of doing things out from here. I read a story about a Taiwanese company almost a decade ago who started doing tailoring services, suit tailoring from New York and New Jersey into Taiwan. What they did was that they had set up a few shops in downtown area, very small shops where they had swatches of the fabrics and the designs, and there was a computer in which the measurements were fed in, and the entire suit was tailored back home in Taiwan, and they had an arrangement with air freight those days, and they couriered the suit. So a tailor-made suit, which normally costs a few $1,000s in the US, was available for $250 or $300 or $400 in less than 15 days. Now, for a moment, remove Taiwan and put Nigeria. Could you not do that here? You can do tailoring, you can do fashion garments. Don't talk about bulk factories where there are 50,000 pieces being stitched in a day, etc. No, precision, high quality stuff can be done, services can be extended to somebody sitting in Europe or America or any part of the world, which is probably 1/4 or 1/5 the cost of doing it, and you earn foreign exchange.
Atulon, thank you for being on Tech Trends today.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's a wrap on this edition of Tech Trends, but the conversation continues online. Do follow us on social media. Remember, you can watch the entire show on the channel's TV YouTube account or via my blog cfetech.ng. For Tech Trends, I am Chukwuemeka Agbata.